Hey there, weird ass black sheep. Welcome to my humble cave, also known as the party pen. It's so fucking awesome here. It's totally awesome here. And what we are doing here is we're reading the trilogy known as God Said. Right now, we are on book 2 of said trilogy. It is called Jesus Who, because, everybody needs to know God the Third. So, that's what we're doing. We are not very far into his shit talking tour here in the bookmark. As a matter of fact, I think we've only had like 3 main concerts, maybe. So I don't know. Um, but I know he's done a hell of a lot of shit talking. But people haven't got mad at him yet. So he's not done. Which is fucking wild to me. He is speeding up his demise every single second. And he's doing it on purpose. So, if you want to hear the rest of it, come this way. Let me know where you're from and what you're drinking and what you're smoking. I'm from Detroit. I'm drinking coffee out of my Johnny Depp Mega Pint. And I am smoking basic cigarettes and my Red Dead Redemption bowl. He has a hat. And I always have the hat until right now. I have the hat. So his name is Arthur. Can you see him? Arthur. I'm smoking him tonight. Smoking something called Animal Cookie. I don't know. It's just some weird ass name somebody made up. I don't know. Doesn't really mean anything. But I'm smoking it. Hey, Firefly. How are you? It's so good to see you. Are you ready to come on this tour? Because we've got room. We're going to meet Jesus. We're going to be allowed to hang out with the band and we don't even have to sleep with anybody. How fucking amazing is that? I told that to Green Jello once, and did you know those motherfuckers seriously got angry? It's like, well, if you're going to be hardcore, don't fucking pretend to be. Like, most all the people that get upset and offended at me are people that pretend they're so super hardcore and they can't be offended until they meet me. I had a therapist say that to me once. You can't offend me. Did you know I am permanently banned from his therapy office? That's real life, I swear to God. Yeah. He subscribed to when I was on Rumble, he subscribed to my Rumble and my BitChute. And then he talked to me in person. And now I can never go back to therapy there. And I told my neurologist, listen, if I can make that bitch cry, he should not be a therapist. And she told me, Nikki, will get you a different therapist. And now I have this cute little white chick. Man, she is so pretty. And then I have this strong, independent black woman as a med doctor, med therapist. And she is amazing. Look, she is the greatest. And they took me off my medicine. They have They have me on something. It's new. She took me off all my medications and she put me on something called benztropine. And I was like, did you really just put me on a benzo? And it's not a benzo. But, I mean, it kind of looks like it says benzodiazepine. But it does not say that. There's not even a D or a Z. It's the drug addict in me talking. But anyway, I'm on new meds. And tonight is the first night I've taken it, so I have no idea what's going to happen. But I know I have this bowl pack, and I have a pack of cigarettes. And we are going on to our third or fourth concert with Jesus. I can't wait. It's going to be so exciting. So grab your Johnny Depp mega pint of coffee and come this way. Walk this way. Walk this way. Walk this way. Walk it. Yeah, they have a good time. Look, look, what's happening? No one knows. No one knows what's happening. But I'm on new medicine. So let's find out. What am I doing? No one knows. Did I already play my intro? I maybe did. Yeah, I did. I did. Okay. So let's get on to chapter 4. Hi, Neil. Hi, cousin. Listen, what are you guys drinking and smoking? Firefly, what are you drinking and smoking? Firefly, every time I see you or I see your name, do you know Prodigy plays in my head every time I see your name? It's like fire starter. Something come at me, I'll get ya. Psychosomatic, etiquette. Yeah, every time I see your name, that whole verse pops through my head. So, just want you to know that, in case you didn't know. Prodigy. The song is called Firestarter. It's a pretty decent song. Coffee and cigs. Yeah. I I am I cannot smoke those vapes. They get me way too high, and it's not even the good high. It's like the kind of high where you're like, the kind of high indica gives you, like you've been taking heroin all day. Yeah, I don't like those vapes, and if I can avoid smoking them, I will. That's why I always gotta have flour. Cause I can't eat weed either. I'll eat the whole fucking thing and not even be high. Hey, if Wheels comes in, have him tell you about Prodigy. He loves them. Oh, and there's also Mindless Self-Indulgence. Did you guys ever hear of them? They're a pretty decent band. Oh, well, it's okay. I'm not saying anything, but those things hit me way too high. And again, it's not even the good kind of high. It's the kind of like icky high. But anyway, we are never going to be able to meet Jesus if we just stand around here jerking off. So, come on, let's go to a concert. I bought tickets. Here's you a ticket and you a ticket. We all got tickets to have a good time. Yeah, we're going backstage on the Jesus shit talking / wellness clinic tour. No, I said that wrong. The Jesus shit talking tour / wellness clinic. Yeah, I got us backstage tickets. Yeah. All right. You ready? Let's all hold hands. We're going to jump in cannibal style. Okay. And he began to teach again by the sea, and such a very great multitude gathered to him that he got in a boat in the sea and sat down. And the whole multitude was by the sea on the land. And he was teaching them many things in parables, and was saying to them in his teaching, he was teaching things. Okay. And he was saying to them, hey, listen to this. This is going to be good. Behold, the sower went to sow, and it came about that as he was sowing, some seed fell beside the road, and birds came and ate it. Other seeds fell on the rocky ground where it did not have much soil, and immediately sprang up. And after the sun had risen, it scorched to death because it had no root. It withered away. And others fell among thorns, and thorns came up and choked it out, and it yielded no crop. And the other seeds fell into good soil, and they grew up and increased and yielded a crop and produced 30, 60, even 100-fold. And he was saying, he who has ears to hear, let him hear. And as soon as he was alone, his followers, along with the 12, began to ask him about his parables. And he was saying to them, to you it has been given the mystery of the kingdom of God, but those who are outside get everything in parables, in order that while seeing they may see and not perceive, and while hearing they may hear and not understand, lest they return and be forgiven. Okay, so they'll hear it and not understand it until they go back to God. Got it. And he said to them, do you not understand this parable? And how will you understand all the parables? The sower sows the word, and these are the ones beside the road where the word is sown. And when they hear, immediately Satan comes and takes away the word which had been sown in them. And in a similar way, these are the ones on whom the seed was sown on the rocky places, who then, when they hear the word, immediately receive it with joy. But they have no firm root in themselves. Muzzle. But they are only temporary. Then affliction or persecution or Nikki K the Great arises and tells them about themselves. Then it's all bad. That's not what that says. When affliction or persecution arises because of the word, immediately they fall away. And others are the ones on whom seed was sown among thorns. These are the ones who have they have heard the word, and the worries of the world and deceitfulness of riches and the desires for other things enter and choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. Then there are the ones that were sown on good ground. They hear the word, accept it, and bear fruit. And he was saying to them, hey, is he really going to do the Sermon on the Mount in the middle of a lesson that had nothing to do with the Sermon on the Mount? Interesting. Hold on. It's hot. Okay. Wait. And he was saying to them, a lamp is not brought to be put under a peck measure, or is it under a bed? It is not brought to be put under a. Wait, what? And he was saying to them, a lamp is not brought to be put under a peck measure, is it? Or under a bed? Is it not brought to be put on a lampstand? For nothing is hidden except to be revealed, nor has anything been secret. But, what? Nor has anything been secret that it should come to light. If any man hears, if any man has ears to hear, let him hear. And he was saying to them, take care that you listen to. By your standard of measure, it shall be measured to you, and more shall be given besides. For whoever has, to him shall more be given, and whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. And he said, the kingdom of God is like a man who casts seed upon the soil and goes to bed at night and gets up by day, and the seed sprouts and grows. The seed sprouts up and grows. How, he himself does not know. The soil produces crops by itself. The first blade, then the head, then the mature grain on the head. When the crop permits, he immediately puts the sickle because the harvest has come. And he said, how shall we picture the kingdom of God? Or by what parable shall we present it? It is like, hold on. It is like a mustard seed, which when sown upon the soil, though it is smaller than all the seeds that are upon the soil, yet when it is sown, it grows up and becomes larger than all the garden plants and forms large branches so that the birds of the air can nest under its shade. And with many such parables, he was speaking the word to them as they were able to hear it. But he did not speak to them without a parable. He was explaining everything privately to his own disciples. And on that day, when evening came, he said to them, let us go over to the other side. Leaving the multitude, they took him along with them, just as he was, Jesus in a boat, and the other boats were with him. And there arose a fierce gale of wind, and the waves were breaking over the boat, so much that the boat was already filling up and and he himself was in the stern asleep on the cushion. And they woke him up. Jesus, I need you to wake up. Jesus, wake up. And Jesus rolls over, farts, and goes back to sleep. And they're like, Jesus, Jesus fucking Christ, get up. And Jesus opened one eye and was like, what do you want? And they were like, oh my God, we're going to die. Everything, we're going to die. And Jesus like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And they were like, yeah, but the water and the wind, and we're sinking as we speak. You see this water right here? We're sinking. And Jesus is like, oh my God, Dad, this is shit. Okay, look. And he got up and he went up there, boom, 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 boom. And he's like, shut the fuck up, I'm trying to sleep. And then everything shut the fuck up because Jesus was trying to sleep. And then he looked at everybody and was like, why didn't you guys just pray? Right? You could have just prayed. But whatever. Whatever. Hold on. Where am I at? Okay. So he told the wind to shut the fuck up. And then he told them, you guys suck. You should have prayed. And then they became very much afraid and said to one another, did y'all just see that? Oh my God. Did you really just see that? That was fucking insane. That was crazy. Okay. Okay. That is the end of that chapter. So, those of you who have been paying attention, what do you think? I always find this story amusing, though, because Jesus just rolls over and farts on them. It's like, that's what they get. But, I mean, the book didn't say that he farted on him, but you know he did. Because who the hell wants to get up when people are screaming at you? It's like, no, I'm going to roll over and fart on you, and I'm going back to sleep. Oh, yeah, no, Dustin had to buy me a large print Bible. Yep. The one with like the big words and shit. There is always a plan. Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching Chat in the Chat. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you know any other weirdo that likes to giggle at Jesus, please feel free to share my content with them. And please chat in the chat. We got live chat going. I can see you if you chat because that was a problem for a hot second. But now I can see you if you chat. And there's a bunch of moderators and stuff in here ready to talk to you. Firefly, she's got jokes for days. So you can get it on Amazon. I think Dustin paid like $12 for my Bible because he got all those discounts and shit. I guess you get with Amazon or whatever. So it didn't like put him in the, put him in the poorhouse buying me a Bible. But I feel so fucked up about that though, because I seriously had Dustin buy me a Bible so I could write on it. I asked him, I said, "Do you hate that you bought me a Bible that I could write on?" And he's like, "No." I said, "'Cause I wrote." He's like, "I know. It's fine." The thing that I've learned reading this Bible for the past, like, fucking I could if I would have went in school and studied the Bible for as long as I've been reading it, I would be considered an expert. Did you guys know that? If you do the same thing for more than 5 years, you're an expert. I've been doing this for a hot fucking second. Would be considered an expert. Except for my brain injuries, I don't remember shit. So I couldn't tell you what verse or what book or whatever, but I could tell you the context of a story for sure. Yeah, you know what? I'm like a professor, and you guys are like my college class. Yeah, call me Professor Saint Nikki K. Oh, that sounds like a great title. Professor Saint Nikki K the Great. Yo, I have way too many names. I could be the sage known as Saint Professor Nikki K the Great. Ah, I amuse myself for no real reason. So, what do you guys want to talk about before we go on to chapter 5? Because I'm all hopped up on my medicine now. Man, I bet when I was in school, my teacher, I bet she wished people talked as much as my chat does, which is like zero. Yeah, there you go. I wish I had a pink Bible. Man, that'd be so cool. I'd draw all over it though. I have a real problem with Sharpies, man. I draw all over everything with Sharpie. But Dustin got me those Expo markers and the Expo writing board. So I can just draw random pictures and erase them. I'm gonna get it when I get paid. Fucking right, you will. Yeah. And then you can see how much I really do ad lib das bible, which actually isn't really a lot. Pink is my favorite color. You know what? I listen to severe extreme death metal, and pink is my favorite fucking color. And I wear church clothes to metal concerts, and everybody always looks at Dustin like, is she really dressed like that? And he's like, yeah, man. Or rolling through the ghetto blasting death metal music. That used to be my favorite thing to do. What kind of music do you guys listen to? I'm trying to engage my chat. My chat's not engaging me. I am really sad. And now I'm gonna pee. Yeah, that was my song to you guys about not interacting with me. uh, it's okay. I'm gonna sit on my own middle finger and spin. Could you imagine if you could do that in real life, though? Like literally sit and spin? Dude, I've been watching the same Limp Bizkit concert live for like, I think it was the one in Paraguay where he's dressed like Master Yoshi from Dragon Ball Z. Man, I love Limp Bizkit. Bands like Korn, Nine Inch Nails, Linkin Park. I can't listen to those fucking bands. They're way too depressing. Marilyn Manson, all those were way too depressing. And I've heard, yeah, but Nikki, you listen to goth metal and you listen to black metal, and it's like, yeah, but all those are love songs. Have you ever read the words to any of those songs? They're all love songs. I don't listen to this depressing shit. If you ever want to see me self-destruct, if I ever start listening to Mushroom Head on a loop, I have self-destructed because Mushroom Head is self-destructing music. Hey, rockabilly is not bad at all. That's the Brian Setzer Orchestra, right? Baby, baby, it looks like it's gonna help. Baby, baby, it looks like it's gonna help. Something she wants to stay inside. She wants to learn how to drive and well. Gotta jump driving, then you will. Yeah, keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is. Man, that's like two totally different genres in like one sentence. Gotta jump driving, then you will. Cigarettes after sex. Oh man, that sounds so good. You know, and I bet Dustin gets really mad about that because he don't smoke cigarettes. So like, never mind, that's too much information, right? But I always gotta come out here and smoke a cigarette, and then I end up sitting on YouTube for the next 5 hours. That's gotta be so aggravating. Oh, you know a good one, Neil? It's by the band called The Expendables or just Expendables. Anyway, it's called Bowl for Two. It is a really good. I packed this bowl for two. I'm gonna wanna smoke it with you. Hey, Firefly, I've got this vape loaded for two. I think two people can hit it. I I'm not gonna smoke it with you, but I'm gonna give it to you. But we're gonna hit this bowl and then we're gonna go on to chapter 5. Oh, Firefly. Did you see that video I posted from the live stream last night? Because I condensed it. Did you see the drunk girl scream about the raccoons in the house? I'm on Mark chapter 5. It's it says it's New Testament, but the Jesus story is part 2 of Das Bible. Part 3 is the rest of that snake shit. But we're on Mark chapter 5. We're about to start chapter 5 right now. But Firefly, did you see that last I posted the video on Discord. I made a whole video. Well, I condensed last night's live stream. But the girl screaming about the raccoons and then Dustin getting mad. Yeah, it was fun. Henry brought a drunk girl home yesterday. It was a good time. It was cool, though. Anyway, we are going. Are you there, Firefly? Um, it's the book right after Matthew. Okay, good night, Neil. I love you. Hey, Firefly, don't let your girlfriend catch you saying that shit. I don't want to fight nobody. I'll gladly lose a fight, though. I'll try to beat somebody with my broken arm and end up falling on my face. Don't even worry about it. I'll beat myself up. Okay, here we go. And they came to the other side of the sea, into the country of greasiness. And when he had come out of the boat, immediately a man from the tombs with an unclean spirit met him. And he had his dwelling among the tombs, and no one was able to bind him, even with a chain, because he had been bound with shackles and chains, and the chains had been torn apart by him, and the shackles broken in pieces, and no one was strong enough to subdue him. And constantly, night and day, among the tombs and in the mountains, he was crying and gashing himself with bones. You are the bad boy. And seeing Jesus from a distance, he ran up and did the face thing. And crying with a loud voice, he said, he's saying things. What'd he say?
What do I have to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I implore you, by God, do not do harm to me. Oh my God, don't hurt me. Please, please don't hurt me, Jesus. It's a good time.
Because he had been saying to him, come out of the man, you unclean spirit. What is your name? And he said,
my name is Legion, for we are many. So listen, I'm not being tricksy or anything. I mean, I might be in tricksy, and you probably know that, but you're kind of like Pig anyway. So I was wondering, could we just go into those pigs over there? Yeah, we could be pigs. Yeah. You guys are rat snakes. I could be a pig. I want to be a pig. Yeah, can I be a pig? Oh my God.
Okay. And he gave them permission. And coming out, the unclean spirits entered the swine, and the herd and the herd rushed down the steep embankment to the sea. It was 2,000 of them, and they were drowned. And the herdsmen ran away and poured it in the city and in the country. And the people came to see what had happened. And they came to Jesus and was like, listen, listen. Yeah. Look, your tour is not going to bring that much money here, right? Because you see all of that? Your tour wishes it can make that kind of money. And your wellness clinic is free. It don't even bring any money. So you got a GTFO, yo. Like, that's a lot of fucking money, man. And we can't eat that because there's, look, we couldn't even, people's not going to buy our pork no more because they're going to think it's that shit. And your tour is not going to make up for that. So you got to go, please. Yeah. What is this place called? Greasiness. You can never come back here. You're banned for life. Thank you. Okay. How would that happen? Okay. And as he was getting into the boat, the man who had been demon possessed was entreating him that he may accompany him. And Jesus was like, fuck no, yo, go home to your people and report to them what great things the Lord has done for you and how he has showed mercy to you. And he went away and began to proclaim in Decapolis what great things Jesus had done for him. And everyone marveled. And then Jesus crossed over again in the boat to the other side. A great multitude gathered about him, and he stayed by the seashore. And one of the synagogue officials who did not stand up for Jesus, by the way, his name was Jairus, which you should go to hell forever, Jairus, because you could have saved Jesus and you chose not to, so fuck you. Anyway, he saw Jesus and fell at his feet, but he didn't save him. They should have never gave this guy a name because he should have been synagogue worker number 3. Hashtag custodian. Anyway. And he entreated him earnestly, saying, my little daughter is at the point of death. Please come lay your hands on her so she may be well and live. And he went off with him, and a great multitude was following and pressing in on him. And a woman who had a hemorrhage for a long ass time and endured a lot of shit at the hands of doctors, because doctors, she had spent all she had and was not helped at all, but rather had grown worse. After hearing about Jesus, she came up in the crowd behind him and touched his cloak because she was like, man, maybe this will work. I'm going to do it. Okay. And immediately her problem was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of her affliction. And immediately Jesus, perceiving in himself that the power proceeding from him had gone forth, he turned around in the crowd and said, who did it? And his disciples said, everybody is touching you, dude. And he's like, no, no, no. This was different. So he turned around and saw the woman, but the woman, fearing and trembling, aware of what had happened. And Jesus said, no, you're fine. Now go away. While he was speaking, they came to the house of the synagogue official. And no, while he was still speaking, they came from the house of the synagogue saying, your daughter is dead. Why trouble the preacher anymore? But Jesus, overhearing what had been said to the synagogue official, she's only sleeping. Oh, wait, no, that's not this one. Anyway, do not be afraid any longer, only believe. And he allowed no one. Oh, yeah, this is the one. Yeah, she's just sleeping. And Jesus only took Peter, James, and John. And they came to the house of the synagogue. And he beheld a commotion and people loudly weeping and wailing. And he was like, shut up. She's fine. She's just asleep. Take all that loud ass shit outside. And they began laughing at him. He's like, yeah, whatever. You'll see. So he took along the child's father and mother and James and Peter and John and entered the room where the child was. And he was like, okay, get up. It's time to stop playing because everybody's fucking freaking out. So get the hell up. And she arose and began to walk. She was 12. And immediately they were completely astounded. He's like, I told you she was faking it. And he gave them strict orders that no one should know about this. And go get her something to eat. Okay. Now we're going on to chapter 6. What'd you think about that? What'd you guys think about that? I'm not that goofy, am I, Ricky? Oh, Ricky, you want to tell everybody your good news? Ricky's got a good thing going on for him. Maybe he'll tell you what he's doing. I wish I had a ruler. Wake up. There you go. It's a bullwhip. Wake up. Talk with me. That's it. 30 lashings for each of you. I don't know if I could hit that button that many times. We'll just do 2. You know what? It sounds like somebody smacking somebody's ass. Sexy ass biatch. Yeah. So, Firefly, what did you think about it? Because aren't you following along with me? What did you think about it so far? Because Jesus isn't even on his tour yet. He's been kicked out of one place. He wasn't even able to have a tour. So now that tour date's canceled. He had to go back to the other side. So now We got to find out when he's going to have his next concert. Because all this walking and boat riding is making my stomach queasy. Okay. Well, see, that's what I've learned with Das Bible. You got to put in your own terms, man. And the Bible says that in here a bunch of times. It- Uh, you take the word and you read it in the language people understand. I've never heard anybody interpret the Bible. They just take some shit and just throw it together, but it's not really an interpretation. And a lot of the interpretations don't really even mean anything because they're like shallow. So I don't think my interpretations are really shallow. Well, they might be because they're the basic level, basic level interpretations over here. But I think I read for real people, though. Like, none of you are the kind of people that pretend to be smarter than everybody else, and none of you, like, are those kind of people. And I think you understand my plain style because you're not overcomplicated people. I think people that don't understand my Bible readings are overcomplicated people. But you know what? The first time I ever met Jesus, the first time I read through the store, man, Jesus is the most badass person. He is just, Jesus is just uber badass. And it's like, you see him speeding up his demise. He starts as slow at first, but then it's like every single bam, bam, bam. It's like, no, now you want to die on purpose. That's not cool. But what do you think about his tours so far? Firefly? All right. All right. I'm going to hit this blow for you guys. Well, actually, Firefly, it's just you and me. No, you can't believe everything that's in there. But what you can do is infer that Jesus' enemies are the ones that put this book together. And they put it in here because it's true. Because by the time they got all this together, people already knew about Jesus because of Pharisee Paul. And they knew because everybody would just believe the Pharisee Paul because he's an apostle. There's no such thing as a 13th apostle. But anyway, they were like, well, we'll just throw Jesus in here because he keeps saying the name Jesus. But nobody believes or even reads the story of Jesus to even do what Jesus said. They just skip over that part. They're like, oh, Jesus said all these nice things. But then they do what Paul said. It's real stupid. Yes. And I guess I said all that to say, not even Jesus's enemies said he didn't do the things this book says he did. So, and you just wait till we get back to David because we paused at the perfect time because God's about to party. So, just wait, you'll find out how glorious he is. Man, he's a party animal. He's like a frat boy. And that's God Jr. Right now we're reading about God the Third. Okay. So we are on chapter 6 of Mark. All right, let's do it. And he went out from there, and he came to his hometown, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath had come, okay, so he's in his own hometown. So he's in Nazareth, okay, and his disciples are there. And then he's doing another tour on the Sabbath. He began to he began his tour. Now remember, his tour dates are inside their churches. So he's going into their space talking mad shit. So let's see what he's going to say to his own people. Okay. And many listeners were astonished, saying, where did this man get these things? Where did he get this wisdom? What is happening? I don't know what's happening. And such miracles as these performed by his hands. Because Mary lied to him his whole fucking life, so you guys don't even know who he is. Because Mary's a fucking liar. I mean, I'm sure she was scared. And she had every right to be scared. But she should have at least told him who he was. We're not there yet, Nikki. Nikki, we're not there yet. Okay? Is this not the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joses and Judas and Simon? Look. He named all of his prophets, except for Joseph, are named after his brother. They have the same names as his brother. Except for Simon, he named him Peter. And are not his sisters here with us? And they took high offense at him. And Jesus said, a prophet is not without honor except in his hometown and his own relatives, in his own house. No, Jesus, no. It's only you, bro. Listen. I know. I was baptized. You're my husband. I get it. But you were the only prophet that was not accepted in his own space because Mary didn't tell anybody who you were. So nobody knows who you are, so you're not respected. Because Just like with the transgender thing. If you don't start out that way in your hometown, and then all of a sudden, one day you're a boy, and then the next day you're dressed like a girl, expect people to ask questions. Don't expect people to not be fucked up by that because yesterday you were a dude. You know what I mean? And here, yesterday he was a carpenter. Today he's a miracle worker. How does this happen? If you don't start out that way, people are not going to accept you that way. That's what this means. If you don't start out the way you say you are now, people are not going to accept you because they're going to be like, that's fucking weird. Hey, Wheels! It is hump day. Wheels, welcome. Okay. And he could do no miracle there except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. And he wondered at their unbelief. As he was going around the villages teaching, he summoned 12 and began to send them out in pairs. He was giving them authority over unclean spirits, and he instructed them that they should take nothing for their journey except a staff. No bread, no bag, no money, nothing. But they had to wear sandals, and he added, do not put on 2 tunics. Wherever you enter, stay there until you leave town. And if any place does not receive you or listen to you as you go from there, shake the dust from the soles of your feet for a testimony against them. And they went out and preached that men should repent. And they were casting out many demons. And they were anointing with oil many sick people and healing them. And King Herod heard of it, for his time. No, wait. King Herod heard of it, for his name had become well known. And the people were saying, it's John the Baptist, he has risen from the dead. And that is why these miraculous powers are at work. But others were saying, he is Elijah. And others saying, no, he's just a prophet from old time. But when Herod heard of him, he kept saying, John, whom I beheaded, has risen. For Herod himself had sent and had John arrested and bound in prison because he told him, don't be fucking his brother's wife. You know, it's not right. And Herodias had a grudge against him and wanted to put him to death and could not do so. For Herod was afraid of John, knowing he was a righteous and holy man, and kept him safe. And when he had heard of him, he was very perplexed. But he used to enjoy listening to him. And a strategic day came when Herod, on his birthday, gave a banquet for his lords and military commanders and leading men of Galilee. And the daughter of Herodias herself came in and danced and pleased Herod and his dinner guests. And he was like, yeah, whatever you want, I will give you. You little girl. What's your name? Who's your daddy? Is he rich? Is he rich like me? Has he taken any time to show you what it's like? Anyway, anyway, he's like, hey, little girl, I'll give you whatever you want. Where are we right now? Oh, chapter 6, um, verse 23. And he swore to her, whatever you ask of me, I will give it to you, half of my kingdom. And she went and was like, I gotta go talk to my mom. 623. Sorry, I was in my head. Okay. So yeah, it's chapter 6, verse 23 is where we're at. And he swore to her, whatever you ask of me, I will give it to you. Half my kingdom, up to half my kingdom. And she was like, I gotta talk to my mom. I need to talk to my mom. So she went and talked to her mom. And her mom's like, you want the head of John the Baptist. Okay. And immediately she came in haste before the king and said, okay, I want Jean le Baptiste's head on a platter. And I wonder if he was like, you know, with the dead frog eyes, it was like the X, and I was like, yeah, it's a good time. Although the king was very sorry yet, but he had to save face, so he couldn't refuse her. And immediately the king sent an executor, being like, yeah, bring back his head because the girls, you know. Yeah. What happened, Wheels? Okay. So they brought her his head on a platter, and she was like, ew, here you go, Mom. And when his disciples heard about this, they came and took away his body and laid it in the tomb. And the apostles gathered together with Jesus, and they reported to him all that day that he had done and taught. What? And they reported to him. Oh, okay. So the disciples came back and they told Jesus everything that they had been doing. And then he was like, come away by yourselves to a lonely place and rest a while. For there were many people coming and going, and they did not even have time to eat. And they went away in the boat to a lonely place by themselves. And the people saw them going, and many recognized them. And they ran there together on foot from all the cities because they were hoping they didn't have to buy a ticket for this concert or go to church. And when he went ashore, he saw a great multitude, and he felt compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things. And when he was Oh, and when it was already quite late, his disciples came to him and said, okay, look, Jesus, these people need to go. They need to eat and stuff. Like, they got to go. We need to go to bed. And they got to eat. And he was like, well, then give them something to eat. And they're like, no, we don't have anything to give them. And he's like, what do you have? And they were like, 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And then Jesus was like,
Dad! Hey, Dad! Hey, big guy! The fish sandwich. Yeah, fish sandwich. No, I don't need the deep fryer. You can make it in the deep fryer. We were just wondering if we could have fish sandwich. Yeah. Yeah, my dad said yeah.
oh man, okay. And they declined in companies and hundreds. And anyway, he took the loaves and fish. Looking up, he's like, hey, the fish sandwich. And giving them to his disciples to set before them, he divided up the 2 fish among all, and they all ate and were satisfied. And they had picked up 12 full baskets of the broken pieces and also of the fish. And there were 5,000 men who ate the loaves. And immediately he made his disciples get in the boat and go ahead of him to the other side to Bethsaida, while he himself was sending the multitude away. After bidding them farewell, he departed to the mountain to pray. And when it was becoming evening, the boat was in the midst of the sea, and he was alone on the land. And seeing them straining at the oars, for the wind was against them, at about the 4th watch of the night, he came to them walking on the sea, because he intended to scare the shit out of them. But when they saw him walking on the sea, they thought it was a ghost, and they started crying like girls. But then Jesus was like, why do you guys think you're important enough for a ghost to follow you? I'm just gonna run next to this boat right here. And I want you to explain to me why you think a ghost would chase after you. That's so amazing to me. No, it's me, you idiots. So he got into the boat with them, and the wind stopped, and they were greatly astonished, for they had not gained any insight from the incident of the loaves, but their heart was hardened. And when they had crossed over, for they came to the land, had Gerber baby food and moored the shore. And they had come out of the boat. Immediately, the people recognized him. Yeah, because you were already there. And ran about the whole country, began to carry out on their pallets those who were sick to the place they heard he was. And wherever he entered villages or cities, even countrysides, They laid their sick in the marketplaces and entreated him that he could just touch them or they could touch him and then they would be cured. Johnny? No way. That's creepy. Or was it Adam? Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Message me on Messenger. But anyway, that's the end of that. So what did you think telling them, Jesus telling them that they weren't special enough for a ghost to follow them? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's bad. Well, let's think about something else for a second. What do you think about Jesus telling these guys that they are not cool enough for a ghost to follow them? Firefly, what do you think? Because we are going to have to end right there. We did 4, 5, and 6. Man, we did a good job. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe and chat in the chat. There's a few people here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, Jesus told them they weren't special enough for a ghost to follow them. Jesus said, I'm going to stand here until you tell me why you think that. Jesus has no chill. What about, like, I was thinking about that pig thing. Pigs were worth a lot of money back then. And Jesus might have did it on purpose because he knows pigs are worth a lot of money. And then the little demon guy's like, we want to go into pigs. We're going to cost these people a lot of fucking money. And Jesus is like, okay. What do you think about that? Like, because Jesus knows them pigs, that shit is worth a lot of money. And then Jesus is going to let the demon devil guy ruin them. It's wild, right? Do you guys ever have I don't know. I think I have a pimple inside my chin. Like, it's inside my chin. Like, it's like right there. I can feel it, but it's like backwards. Are are we ready to go? Is everybody ready to go? Because I think my medicine isn't kicking in, or maybe it is actually kicking in. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, it's getting late here too. It's 11:30. Oh shit. Dustin's gonna be so mad. All right, guys. Well, good night, and I love you. Wheels, I love you. Text my phone. I'll be up for a few minutes. I'm gonna finish this cup of coffee. So text my phone. I think I know where it is. It's right here. Right here. Or call me on Messenger in a few minutes before I go to bed. All right, good night. Text me in a few call me on Messenger in a few minutes, Wheels.